Hey, movie fans! We live in a streaming world. I don't know if we knew how important streaming was gonna be before this pandemic hit, but now that it has hit, wow, it's just been such a great thing to have and a great outlet for so many movies and film and entertainment sources. We've had a lot of Disney Plus news lately. I wanted to talk about one that kind of hit the news feed a couple weeks ago, and this is about Percy Jackson. Disney Plus getting a Percy Jackson series. This is kind of something I've been wanting for a long time. The books were released by Disney Hyperion Book Company, right, through Disney. But also now that Disney owns Fox, I think that also helps with being able to do this. Unlike the movies that were made, there were two movies made. The first two adapted from the books. I almost feel weird saying that because they were so different from the books, but yeah, general idea. And unlike those movies, the author of the books, Rick Riordan, is going to be very, very much involved this time around. He is writing the script, and he actually took to social media to announce and to proclaim to the world that he is doing that right now. He's working on the script, working on the pilot, getting things ready. He and his wife are also planning on being included in the casting and who gets casted for these roles, which I think is so important because as the author, he's seen things and imagined them in certain ways and wants to be able to bring that out in the way that he wrote it. He was not impressed with what they did with the first movies. Maybe you've seen or heard some of the things that he's been saying, but he also took to social media recently and just well, he mentioned that he'd never even seen the movies. That when he read the script, he was just so hurt by how bad it was and how far off it was from what he wrote these books to be, that he did not even want to watch it after that. He likened it to taking your dream and your life's work and just running it through a meat grinder. I was happy to hear that Logan Lerman was excited about this project. He was the actor who portrayed Percy Jackson in those two movies, and he went to Twitter and tweeted about his excitement and congratulated Rick Riordan on the fact that this was happening. So I thought that was cool. Good feelings, good vibes. They are referring to this as being a live action series, and the first season will be based on the first book titled The Lightning Thief. So I think it's pretty easy to assume then that they would at least do a season for each of the five books in that series, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. So that's kind of what it's looking like. It sounds like it's going to be. Percy Jackson series is kind of a big deal. Over 15 million copies sold. I really enjoyed the series. It's been a long time now since I've read them, but I just remember them just being so fast moving, very fun to read, and like really just a quick pace and action packed. Always something happening, always something going on, always a monster popping up that Percy's got to fight. I felt like each chapter in his writings was done so well that it really would lend itself easily to being an episode or maybe two chapters for an episode. I'm not sure how they're going to break that up, but the way he wrote it, I think it really does lend itself easily for that style of cinema, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's really cool that they're doing it. For years, I've been saying that this is what needs to happen with Percy Jackson. They need to make a series. They need to have, the season for the book, and then they can just really match the content of what the books were going to, or what the story of the books were telling, and to tell that same story in a visual way. Obviously, it's probably not going to be exactly, but I'm guessing it's going to be a lot closer with Rick Riordan being so involved this time around. For me, if I were in charge of this, if I had any kind of say in how it was going to go, I would actually try to push for animation. In my mind, it would work better. You could make the characters exactly like he imagined them, right? Or at least like we imagined them, how they were described in the books. You could also just do things with a 12-year-old that might be kind of awkward and look kind of weird, in a live action. Obviously, you're gonna have to use a lot of CG and makeup and effects and things to pull this off. But in an animated, I think it would just be smooth, and I could see it being really, really cool. I would want it to be, like kind of the newer style to animation that we saw in Into the Spider-Verse. That Spider-Man movie was great, and the animation of it was so cool. Obviously, they did some things to make it feel comic booky, which you wouldn't need to do with Percy Jackson, but just kind of that stylized animation, I think would be awesome. And to be able to see him that way, and just for me to see, like, just trying to imagine Percy Jackson as a 12-year-old fighting Ares, the god of war, on the beach. Like, I think you can just pull that off a lot better animated. But, I don't have that kind of say. It doesn't matter. Maybe way down the road. Who knows? But for now, I'm just excited that they are in the works, looking to produce a Percy Jackson series for Disney Plus, and we'll get to have that. I'm guessing the first season, maybe a couple years down the road. So, anyways, that's exciting news. Are there things about it you're excited about, hoping to be better this time around, wanting not to miss? Obviously, Annabeth, I think they need to kind of nail her as the right version of the character that we all read about. That will be helpful. But yeah, all right, guys, thanks for checking this out. So fun. Hope you have a good one.